just your views as to what this rate of urbanization is going to mean for the emergence of African cities. We already, many would argue, living on top of each other in Africa's cities.
Yes, thank you very much. I think it is a big challenge indeed, but it is also opportunities. You see, urbanization is a necessary condition for development, and you can witness this all over the world. Developed countries today have a very low rural population, but this is a big challenge as well, providing the local authorities, government, and then business alike will join their force together to put our cities in the right direction. For sure, in the next 40 years, the urban population will triple from 40% we are right now, 400 million. We are expecting to have 1.2 billion in the turn of 2050. And certainly this is a big challenge, but it is an opportunity as well.
All right, the opportunities obviously lie in the area of infrastructure. And one of the things that most leading African economies are grappling with is providing low-cost housing for many of the urban poor. Because as we know, those are the people who are seeping into the cities looking for better opportunities. And the government has some kind of a responsibility there. How's it being addressed?
Yeah, this has been addressed through various means and then strategies that UN Habitat, as part of the UN community, has been displaying. We just held the third African Ministerial Conference on Housing and Urban Development in Bamako, Mali, with a very committed government, very poor landlocked countries with a population of less than 15 million. But if you can see what the government was able to do, led by the president himself, they are really providing for middle income and low income. But to come to the scourge of slums in Africa, which today stand between 60 and 70% of urban dwellers living in slum condition, is indeed a tragedy. And if you want to see poverty, there is no need to search. You go to the Kiberas, you go to the many other slums, Ajunkele in Lagos, or many other places in Hejohenda in Luanda, or you go to Cairo, you will see what is urban poverty. But yet, can you believe, it is through those informal sector, through the slums of Africa, that the majority of the people are aching life day and night, and earning $1 or $2 a day, which represent the little that they have. So therefore, government has ultimate responsibility to provide land so that poor can access land, provide water and sanitation, because this is the basic for improved living condition, provide what we call incentive for building materials so that poor people can access. Right. They can lower their taxes, they cannot take it all, and of course to provide better living condition through schools and clinics so that they can access their health.
Right, quite a comprehensive approach, Mr. Badiani. One of the biggest challenges to African cities today is the provision of energy, or what we call electricity. It's a major bugbear across the leading economies, Kenya, Nigeria and South Africa. Obviously many governments starting to invest extensively in the sector, but you know, there's an argument for many more independent power producers and for us to start thinking about going green in the provision of electricity, in the way in which we build our homes and filtering through energy requirements. What should the approach be for African cities?
Absolutely. You know, over the last 2 years, UN Habitat has been the leader of what we call UN Energy Africa. This is indeed the basic challenge if we have to go urbanize and if you have to go industrialize. No nation can afford to go to be medium economy or developed economy if you cannot afford to have green energy. And of course, today in Africa, the challenge of affordable energy lies in the diversification of the source of energy. Look, the number of sunlight hours that we have in Africa. And African government was not able to tap this. And this is the reason why UN Habitat, through the program that we call Clean Energy and Sustainable Energy, has been working with many countries like in this East Africa region, in Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. Through the JEF funding, we are trying to keep the lower energy consumption by providing low bulb, but also providing alternative source of policy energy. We are very happy that today they are signing the compact. So early this year, next year, we are starting this program. And this program has to be developed worldwide Africa, I mean, from Mozambique up to Senegal, South Africa, so that green energy is a reality in the continent. We cannot jeopardize our future by just saying that we want energy now, we want to develop, because the developed countries themselves have deteriorated the environment. They have destroyed the ozone layer, and the meeting in Cancun today that you have seen is addressing this issue. And urbanization is again part of the solution, but also part of the problem.
Okay, and just very briefly and finally, there is the whole question of whether Africa can really establish megacities like New York or Hong Kong or London, where everything works in synergy, where the residential areas have good transport nodes, where those transport nodes lead to areas where children can go to school. It leads to areas of greening the cities, where parks and recreational areas, where you can just really have a cosmopolitan lifestyle. What can African leaders do to introduce these? The governor of Lagos State has been at the forefront of this project. We've seen the introduction of the Gautrain in Johannesburg, South Africa as well.
It is absolutely possible, and if you have visited the Shanghai Expo that just closed last October and visited the city of Shanghai, the turnaround in about 20 years shows that it is possible. Africa can meet the challenge of urbanization. If you see what Rio has done, and then if you see what Johannesburg and South Africa have done in organizing the World Cup, you have hope, because our leaders need just to invest, to look at what is the potential of the cities. When cities are providing of between 60 and 80% of the GDP in any nation, you cannot continue neglecting that factor. And today, we are very hopeful, providing we put the land market right, providing we put the governance right, providing that we pull local authorities to fight urban divide and provide urban inequalities. Africa has a rendezvous with the 21st century, and we can make